This is Opposite Attractions, Season 2, Episode 5. Just Keep Swimming. The challenge? A streaming, splash-filled water ride.
Welcome to Opposite Attractions, ladies and gentlemen. The happiest podcast on earth. I'm your host, Scottye Moore, joined as always by the Adventurers Club wannabe himself, Jim Murphy.
Kungaloosh! I'm still tired,
Yeah.
but Kungaloosh.
We're okay.
We're both
I'm
very
not
tired.
We're very tired. Look, we were supposed to record this like 30 minutes ago, and I was definitely firmly in nap time junction when all of a sudden I can wake up to like, and went, what the fuck? And then it was Jim just like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, no, it's okay. I overnapped. It's fine. It's so bad that when I was doing the intro, I almost went all back to the season 1 stuff. I was about to be like the experimental prototype podcast of tomorrow, Imagineer in training, all of that. But yeah, I think I've just been like, it's been a busy week because I'm planning my next Disney trip already, and it's already giving me stress.
And when you say your next one, what time frame is that?
September, I think, because we're gonna go for Not So Scary and Horror Nights.
Why? What time is September? I'm planning on going the second week. That's when we're going.
Oh, okay. No, we're doing we're doing a full week. We just don't know when yet.
We picked that week because for the bounce back for like getting free dining and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was like the last possible day you could check in. We're like, yep, that's the day we want. That's the day we want.
And you guys have annual passes,
no,
right?
Absolutely not. Can't afford that.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, I can't afford. If we went more than once a year, I would think about it. But we only go once a year, and it's not really I can't take enough vacation to be driving 1,000 miles to.
I mean, it's because I've never planned like a big Disney family vacation, even though it's only 2 of us, a family vacation, and just seeing like the price of the tickets and going, oh, okay, that's what's happening now, I guess. And then
they're just getting ready to raise them, I think, in like the next couple of days.
Yeah.
So you might want to jump in.
What? Oh, fucking hell. Okay. But it was that, and then she works with, like, the government, and they have, like, this secret website to get cheaper Disney tickets or Universal tickets and stuff.
Is the site in Russian, by any chance?
Well, firstly, yes. The translations took many years. But no, we went on it. And it kind of blew my mind because she was just like, yeah, it's amazing deals. They're fantastic. And I looked and I was like, this is only $20 cheaper than normal tickets.
I was going to ask if you'd be able to stay at Shades of Green, but I think that's a military, veterans of the military only. I don't think that's government employees.
Yeah, I could just be like, hey, man, we were a janitor at the gym once. Let me work. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go, okay, for Florida residents, do I have to be the Florida resident on the ticket? This is the real question I'm having right now.
I don't know that information because I've never been in that situation to...
Right? I'm just sitting here like, Florida resident...
My sister lived there for a year, and they were like 3 hours away, and it didn't even make sense for them to go very often, if at all. I think they might have went once. So they didn't even have passes.
If I was 3 hours away, I'd do that shit. No, I'm saying for Florida, if I happen to take one of the Florida residents who I happen to know down there and be like, yo, dog, just patch me a few of these. Can you handle that?
I don't know what the rules are. I'm sure there are plenty of forum websites that can explain it very in detail.
No, bro, you don't understand. The trick to doing it is, and then just like go on this big tirade. Actually, I have tried to think of ways to scam my way into the cheaper tickets, because I think they said you need like a piece of mail from the last month or something. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna call up my good buddy Dylan and be like, yo, dog, I'm gonna get some Amazon shit shipped to your house under my name, and then see what happens. Disney's gonna blacklist me after hearing. They're like, he knows.
How much cheaper are you trying to go? Because there are places that sell slightly cheaper tickets, but they're like...
Oh no, I think my plan as of right now is one of my buddies has an annual pass, and they get like 20% off like tickets, I think. And I'm just like, yeah, just buy me a couple tickets,
that's not bad.
and I will give you the money.
For a
yeah,
week,
I know.
I mean, that would probably save you like 60, 80, at least 60, 80 bucks a person.
Yeah, save some cash, and then I think we're gonna do Universal too. And my favorite was when I was talking to her about it. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do Not So Scary one of those nights, and then we're probably gonna do Halloween Horror Nights. And then I thought, and the thought was, she did not enjoy a roller coaster. Going to this environment where there are giant zombie men screaming at her might not be the best. So I was like,
if you're not a horror movie fan, it's not really a place you want to go.
I don't know. It's pretty dope. I liked it, and I'm not a horror movie fan. I didn't go through the houses. Fuck that.
Yeah, I feel like that's where your money is going, is being able to...
Well, it's that, and then for me, the money, and by money I mean the fact that I worked there and got in for free, went to the fact that I was able to get a lot of custom drinks. My favorite one, and by favorite I mean one most likely to make me throw up, was called a blood bag.
Oh, Jesus.
Because I've seen it at parties before, right? Where they have like a blood bag and they fill it with like liquor and cherry and juice, and they're just...
My grandmother in her house had a IV bag that was made of glass and had it was full of vodka, I think, and it had like it had a tube that came off of it, and then it had like a little, like, it looked like an alligator clip at the end, and you put it in your mouth and bit down just a little. And, like, it would gravity feed vodka into your mouth.
That was at your grandma's?
Yeah, it wasn't...
Your grandma partied hard, Jim!
It wasn't used. It was, as far as I know, I never saw the amount of liquid in it go down.
As far as you know, sonny boy, Grandma was getting lit off that bag. That was, but no, the thing about the blood bag, though, is the fact that it was chunky. There's no better way to describe, because it was it was like a bag of Jell-O, which if you're drunk, that don't work, trying to get Jell-O out of this nasty bag. So I'm sitting there just like trying my best to get through it while this random punk ass zombie's like,
it's a paper bag, right? It's a paper bag. It's a paper bag full of Jell-O.
And actually, I didn't buy it. Some weird homeless man gave it to me. He just set it in my hands. There you go, boy. Have a good day. Thank you, Homeless Joe.
It's my favorite walk-around character.
My favorite walk-around character, Homeless. The man who gives you Jell-O in a bag. If you ask for his autograph and hold out the autograph book, he puts the Jell-O in the bag on it, and then it just stamps his name onto it.
So, we were going to talk about the fact that Disney Hollywood Studios decided for about 3 days they were going to change their name, and then they immediately got about 4 billion tons of backlash dumped on them, and we're like, no,
including an entire episode of this show dedicated to mocking how dumb the name Hyperion is.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't the name they were going with.
Wait, hold on. I can't remember what the...
There were about 6 or 8 different names that they had, like, as a survey. All of them were bad.
One of them was Hyperion, though, wasn't it?
Yes, one of them was Hyperion. One of them was Disney XL.
That's terrible.
One of them was like Storyverse.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but the one they were going to change it to was Cinemagine.
Oh,
I could still see it happening, but they...
Cinemagine sounds like a ride, though. It doesn't sound like the name of your whole park.
The plan originally was to refer to the studios as... And this is coming from like another podcast I listened to, but they were going to call it the Cinemagic Kingdom. And the idea is that with Animal Kingdom and the regular Magic Kingdom, that they could have their tagline be like, visit the kingdoms of the world, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And they decided, after focus grouping with, like, first-timers and foreign people, that they were like, oh, we can't understand the difference between these two. Or that they're afraid that people would go to one and expect the rides for the other and be just completely ticked off.
I like that. My idea is the fact that just guy Jerry stood up and it's just like, guys, just listen. It's the Cinemagic Kingdom. And then the CEO, Bob Iger, ran up, kicked him in the nuts as hard as he could, said no, and then ran out the door.
So, I don't know why they're not just going with Hollywood Adventure. It kind of annoys me. But apparently the plan is to change the name. Well, it was to change the name on January 1st of next year.
Yeah.
And to have, because they sold all this merchandise for, like, when the parades are, like, going away, and when, like, the Great Movie Ride was going away, they sold those shirts that said, like, goodbye or whatever. And they made a crap ton of money. So they were hoping that they could sell shirts that said, say goodbye to Hollywood, or whatever. It's the name of a Billy Joel song. Because they wanted Billy Joel to come and play on New Year's Eve and play the song.
This one's gonna go behind the scenes. My mom works in a shirt shop.
Okay.
In the ghetto, and in case you're curious, a majority of her money comes from families who come in and their relatives are recently deceased and they buy shirts for them. That's what Disney's doing. They're like, let's kill things and then sell shirts.
They really hoped that they could make enough money selling the shirts and mugs and glasses and everything that it would basically pay for them to change all the signs.
Yeah.
But that's, like I said, they've come out just today and been like, no, we're actually not changing it. Now, they never actually came out officially and said they were changing it, as far as I know. So they could, I mean, they did come out like 2 years ago and say, eventually it's going to change, but they never said officially that they were going to change it. So they could still come out in 3 months and be like, oh, by the way, actually we are.
I wouldn't do it until after you had all the lands.
Well,
because Star Wars isn't an opening until like 2019, right?
Yes.
So, you're basically renaming the most disappointing park of all four of them.
Right now, there are 4 rides. Whenever Toy Story opens, there'll be 6.
Wait a minute, is it really just 4?
Rides, not attractions, but rides, yes.
Yeah.
And of those 4, there's only one you can ride if you're under 40 inches tall. And that's Toy Story. And that's apparently going to have some days in the coming months where it's completely closed.
No.
So,
that's
going to be rough.
No. Actually, is the new Toy Story Land opening this year or next?
It's opening this year. There's rumor that it actually might be around Memorial Day if they can get it done in time.
Oh shit, dog! We're gonna get to enjoy it on our September trip.
I'd heard that like the fall would have been like the latest. Like they were trying to get it done before then. So
watch them be like, the premiere is going to be Halloween of this year.
Fuck! It's literally, the coaster that's like Goofy's Sky School whatever style coaster.
Yeah.
Like it's a smaller coaster, and the Alien Flying Saucers, which is basically Mater's Junkyard Jamboree from California Adventure, just with aliens instead of Mater. So
I mean, that's not ideal, but
I think it's just like they need to do something, and then Star Wars will come next year.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So anyways, this is a show where we build our own theme park because clearly we're the only ones. I'm sorry, I had to kill that segment. It was going very long.
It was.
I was sitting there with the gun, just like, no, he seems really excited to talk about Toy Story Land, but I got pulled this trigger.
I'm excited about vacation, yes. I'm always excited about visiting. Even if after a couple days I do feel like I don't know what I like, that I want to pull my hair out sometimes.
See, with me, I just get post Comic-Con, post Dragon Con depression, where I'm just like, This is fucking bullshit. I want to go back. Why am I not still there? But I'm sure the 7-week or 7-day one will definitely be enough for me to be like, no, I'm good.
You go between like not wanting to like go home so much as you're just like, especially if you get up if you go to rope drop every day, by the time you've done every rope drop, you were very like, oh god, it's so tiring.
Yeah.
And if you stay all day, like you're cried out because you watched Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I only get 6 hours of sleep, and then I got to go do it again. It does wear on you, but then you're like, but then you walk in, and you're like, it's so happy.
Yeah, I think it's just more missing Orlando than anything else. I think I'm going to probably have a day on my vacation where I'm just like, I just want to go to the Walmart in Kissimmee and check it out. See if Greg's still there waving at people.
I went into a Denny's one time at like 2 a.m. when I worked there, and there was nobody. It seemed like it was closed. That's how, like, there was like one car or 2 cars. I walked in, the cook and the manager were like asleep in a booth.
Jesus.
And I was like, hello? And like they shot up and they're like, oh, hey, what's up? And I'm like,
I think they were actually, I've worked at a restaurant in Orlando and I could tell you they weren't asleep. They were definitely doing cocaine.
Well, I'm pretty sure they were definitely asleep. I could see the table. It wasn't like they were, I don't think they were doing any drugs. It was
that
late.
Wasn't snoring, Jim. That was snorting.
And I asked for food and they gave me a lot. Like they gave me way too much.
It was like an Italian mother brought you a banquet. So this is a show where we try to make our own theme park because clearly we're the only ones able to do it. And of course we do have the theme park Vista, which stands for voting, interactive, and streaming. It's the world's first fully interactive theme park. There's social media aspects. We've basically put the internet onto a park, which is why we had to include an adult-only section where all the dicks go.
Yeah, and this week you wanted us to do something with streaming, and it took me a while to figure something out.
I believe my exact was I want a ride that streams, but also is a water ride and also has a drop in it.
I don't know if I really. I mean, I guess I could put a drop in the ride, and that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off because I think you started off last week, yes. So I'll begin with mine. So mine has no name, theory, or concept, and no, this may be why that was probably one of our longest segment ones, was because we were both like, I don't want to talk about this.
You've made medium the ride.
Yeah.
No theory, concept, or.
Yeah. So, essentially the ride, like I said, it is streaming, and it's streaming not just to all your followers, but also to all of the Vista followers at home. Like if they follow on the official Vista, I guess the official Vista This Ride Twitch account. And I've yet to figure it out in multiple ways, but I really like the concept of you're going into like this Incan temple on a boat ride, like National Treasure.
Okay.
And you can submit videos of you saying certain lines. Oh, wait, no. That Musical.ly app is real popular. It's going to be like the Musical.ly app, where it's always going to be the same words, but you lip sync to it. And they take you lip syncing on the video, and they put it onto the faces of your animatronic. So like the Buzz Lightyear animatronic with the face put on there, that's what they do. They put your face onto it. So now you can be like, what's up, Mom? I see you're enjoying the ride. Fuck you. Anyways. So that's part of my idea. You're going through this Incan temple, and you're seeing... Actually, you know what? Fuck the Musical.ly idea, because I really like the idea of the parents being... Or, like, whoever's watching being able to say what they want. And so you have them be characters. So you have some be like the guy in the beginning of The Mummy who's like, fucking turn back! The curse is real! Also, this is a roller coaster. You insane? So, you have someone like that. You have someone who's like, I am Unka Unka, and I am here to give you treasure.
You've made the story time with Belle into a boat ride or whatever the hell
Yeah.
thing's called.
So you go with Unka Unka, who's going to be portrayed by your Uncle, I guess. But my favorite thing about it is the fact that it's streaming, so people can be watching your face the whole time. And basically, have you ever heard of Twitch Plays Pokemon?
No, I have not. I'm not a Twitchy. I mean, I am a Twitchy person, but not in that way.
Essentially, some psychopath got onto Twitch and hooked up a machine that reads the chat and allowed it to play Pokemon.
I think I've seen that,
chat
yes.
played the Pokemon game, which is what leads me to the fact that chat is going to decide your fate.
Oh,
so they kind of get to enjoy you and understand who you are during the beginning aspects of the ride.
Oh, no.
And then you get to certain parts where there's just like, if you go one way, you have a safe water ride. If you go one way, there's a drop. So there's stuff like that. Or like, basically, because I realized if you give the choice between a drop or the nice ride, unless there's just like an 80-year-old like cancer patient on ride, nobody's going to be like, I'm going to send him down the nice path. You're going down the drop no matter what. So I decided, like, make it a little bit more enticing. Like, one is like a rapid river ride, one is a drop, and you have all of these different choices as you go through, and essentially the plot of it that I just came up with is that the gods are messing with you for stealing the gold of Unka Unka. So, like, you'll have, like, Poseidon come through and, like, mess things up. You have all these amazing things, and then finally you hit this big poosh! And then you just see, hello, it's me, Poseidon, god of the ocean.
I am Neptune, king of the sea.
And said, I'm here today to tell you you're fucked, amigo. And then he pulls the coin off the front of the boat, flicks it in the air. This is all an animatronic. It's going to be very complicated. And then he's like, be gone, bitch. And then...
Speaking just like I always knew Poseidon would.
And then you feel your boat either go forward or backwards. I think forward will be less painful. And you go in a spiral as the water closes in around you. And it feels like you're in the middle of a hurricane. And then you reach the bottom. And then there's a giant drop that takes you outside to our outside. It's gonna have like a Jurassic Park or a Expedition Everest kind of load in, where it looks kind of spooky and jungly.
Yes.
And so that's a plan for that. But yeah, that's the treasure of Unka Unka, only available at Vista.
I thought you were gonna go backwards over the falls like in Maelstrom. When you the backwards thing.
See, in my head, I'm used to normal drops. Like, I was thinking, like, the drop from Splash Mountain or something. I'm like, how do people not break their necks? Until I remembered the Frozen version of it, which is Elsa just being like, be gone, bitch! And then you fucking fly backwards.
But that's not as much of an angle, I think. I think that's only like that's a very shallow angle.
Yeah. Alright, so that's mine.
God.
Bring it, Jim.
Yeah, my ride's called #wet.
Oh my god! Please be in the adults only section.
No, it's not, actually. But I really think... I don't have much for this either, but I think since you want to drop in it, my drop is going to be more like the drop in Cali River Rapids.
Okay.
I was thinking of a ride like that where... maybe you enter on one side, like the entrance is on one side, the load in and the exit is on the other side of like a giant circle. So the ride, track, river, whatever, is just a big circle. You start at the when you get on, like it goes up a hill, which I think Cali does. Mm-hmm. I'm not a super big fan of
I've never
rides.
Ridden Cali, so I have no idea.
But you basically go up a ramp. I want to put it indoors, or at least under some sort of cover, because first of all, the streaming part is that if we're using this idea that we have like a smartphone app or a band of some kind, that you walk up and they say, okay, 6 people to a raft, like there's like two rows of 3, 1, 2, 3. You like scan in kind of like on Test Track, like you walk up and like you scan your band, so it knows, oh, you're in seat 2. Then when you sit in the raft, like the circle that like you would hold on to, the handlebar in the middle would actually have a camera in it, like a small camera that's like waterproofed. And so it would know, okay, you're in seat 2. This video is going to go to your account.
Oh, okay.
But also, while you are in that part, after you scan in, it's going to ask you how bad you want to get wet on a scale of 1 to 10. And you are going to be able to pick on there, and it will average them out. And during the ride, like various water effects will go off or not go off, depending on how wet you would like to get during the ride.
Can the guy from my ride last week, the real extreme dude with the skateboard, come back and just be like, "Are you ready to get wet? Just how wet do you want to get, ladies?" And it's just like, I'm a 56-year-old man. Please.
The other idea I had is that when you walk in, if you split the queue to go around the circle, that there can be areas in the queue that have like buttons you can hit to like turn effects on, even if they're not even if they wouldn't normally come on. Like the people in line can mess with you.
There's actually a really cheap version of that at Universal Studios, and the reason why I know is because my arcade owned it. But it's in it's on their Splash Mountain ripoff, the Dudley Do-Right Rips Off Alls.
Yes.
And you can pay quarters to use squirt guns. Yes. And essentially squirt the people as they go through.
I don't know if Roman Rapids at Busch Gardens Williamsburg still exists, but they had a similar thing. There's also at and it's not around anymore, but at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, they had a thing called like the roller soaker.
Yeah.
And basically every person, it was like a 4-person car, and you had like a tube of water next to you and a handle, and the entire, where the track was like a giant like soak zone type kids play area. But there were like buttons you could hit. If you're just like walking around, you could hit a button and like a geyser would shoot up and be like in the line of the track. Yeah. So if you timed it right, like you could get them wet, but also they could fire back at you by pushing this lever and dropping this like 4 gallons of water out of this tube.
Oh my god!
And like bombs away people.
Yeah.
And the ride itself, I don't think was very like roller. I mean, it was a roller coaster, but it wasn't like crazy drops and stuff. It was more like you hung in a circle and like just went around a track, like you were hanging, like your feet were dangling down.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's kind of what my ride is going to be, really a water coaster as well.
So, mine is more of a boat, is a raft ride that just gets you really soaking wet. And again, and Cali River Rapids, I don't think it is anymore, but at the time it was built, it had like the longest like raft ride drop in it, like a slide. I think you could just put one of those, like, have that be like the last thing you do is
I'm gonna just toss that in because
I forgot about the drop thing. So when you get on the ride, you go around the corner, you go up like a belt, because that's how Cali works. I'm pretty sure you go up a belt, and then you get to the top and you like break free and you go through this rapids. So you just go around in a circle on the rapids, and then like the last thing you do before the end of the ride is you go down this drop, which I'm pretty sure that's how Cali works anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
so yours just gets wet. People. Yours is hashtag wet, and it gets people hashtag wet. I think there has to be. It needs a douchey mascot with the name hashtag wet, who's just like, "Are you ready to get wet?" And all the kids
just be
are
like the emoji with the tongue hanging out.
Yes, that is exactly who that guy is. Hey, no, winky face with the tongue out.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, is that one.
Yeah. All right, I'm down with that. I
couldn't think of a better name for anything, and I was trying to figure out like how I could make it internet based, and I think just putting the video where either you can share it or it shares itself through like the restaurants or through the middle of the park or whatever.
I just want to say, never have I more felt like I was falling off of a building about to hit the ground and then quickly saved myself than I was during the Unka Unka. Because all I knew was maybe something Aztec, that'd be cool, and then it clicked in my head, wait, Twitch is their god, and Twitch is going to control what happens. Aztec gods, yeah, baby, it all connects.
I don't have a very good challenge for this week.
Okay.
I was trying to think of something that we really haven't done, but also could be used for like the internet part. And so, I mean, I just said, and because we have like an entire section that's like adults only, I think we should just have like an all ages type ride. Whatever you want to do, just make it so that it's all ages.
You found my weakness, Jim.
I do have an idea for this that I had like a couple weeks ago, and I just want to get it out before I forget it. So that's what I'm doing for this.
I'm down with that. So next week we have an all ages ride. All ages 21 and up. Yeah!
Do your best.
Right.
It's okay.
So Jim, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at apparently smart, and yeah, I started tumbling about the Adventure Zone, but that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter at Scottye Mo. That's SCOTTYEMO. Make sure to buy my books on Amazon. There's Queasel Corp Risen, the brand new BS versus the Gods, and so many more to come, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to check out all the other amazing BS Network products online at aloadofpurebs.com. There's this show, there's my pro wrestling podcast, Fight Boys, and then, of course, A Load of BS, the flagship show where me and my buddy Blake Tanner are just complete and total assholes. Make sure to check us out online at opposite-attractions.com. You can find all our older episodes. Make sure to check out the first season. It's our theme park Vista.
No.
Wait.
You got it backwards again. It's Apex, and you don't have to say the tagline. It's our theme park
California Screaming, and it's amazing. Yeah, make sure to check all that out. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, listening on iTunes, however you're enjoying your OPAT show, to leave a comment, subscribe, do all that fantastic business. And remember, you can find me and Jim on Twitter at OPATShow. That is spelled OPPATTSHOWRU. Down with OPP!